What is going on, everybody? Back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. Sorry for the late release, and I apologize if I'm speaking slowly. I just finished working out and taking a shower, and your boy is freaking beat. I want to talk to y'all today about something I've touched on before, but it was really sparked today because I had a conversation with a good friend last night about self-care and just love and relationships. It was hilarious. It was random. I was just bored and I was like, yo, let me get on live, right? I'm not the most popular person in the world, but I got on Instagram Live on my personal page, not the podcast page. And they were in the chat, and I was like, yo, because I actually planned on just reading some of my blog posts from my blog I started in 2011. And she was in the chat. And I was like, yo, you should get on camera with me. We're going to have an interview, by the way. So she got on camera. And before I knew it, we ran through the Instagram Live time limit twice. We got off after the second one. But I just find it funny that it seems like the people that I'm in sync with the most, as far as personality-wise, the easygoing people, the givers, the non-confrontational people, it's like our relationships ebb and flow together. It's like when one of us is good, we're all good. When one breaks up, we all break up. Hold on one second. Whew. Had to get some water. That is why I don't like cardio. But like I was saying, when it's going well for one of us, it seems that all of us have a great relationship going, and then once one crumbles, it's like we all crumble. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. I literally have about 4 or 5 people I can call, and we got in our relationships around the same time, and they ended probably around the same time. But the real topic of conversation that I had with her was, because I always mess with her because she's a relationship person. She literally will get out of one relationship and into the next. I'm different. When one relationship ends, I tend to take a year or two off to myself to heal, reflect, enjoy me, because I give a lot in a relationship, so there's a lot of personal rebuilding that I like to do. And then I'll look for the next relationship. Whereas she was going from relationship to relationship without any time in between. And we talked about that last night. And I was like, you need time to heal. And she said, that's what I've come to realize is like all the baggage from my past relationships and past dealings, I move on so fast that I bring it with me into the new relationship. And that is something we all need to work on. It's the first step, I think, is acknowledging the fact that you have baggage. What's your issue? Or what was the issue? What is bothering you? What triggers you? What are red flags that you are the most afraid of? What is something that someone could say that would set you off? You really have to think about yourself. We all have them. I have some. Still not going to go into detail yet, but my relationship ended about a month ago. And, y'all know I talked about her all the time on here. And it was, according to her, due to some of the same stuff. She had baggage. She had doubts from the beginning. But the relationship was so appealing to her. Excuse me. And apparently I was doing all the right things that she couldn't say no. And eventually the baggage caught up. And it fucked both of us up. So you don't want to ruin a good thing, or heck, even a good opportunity, or the possibility of a friendship or a relationship or a marriage or whatever it is you're looking for because you have this baggage. So you have to learn to deal with your shit. And my homegirl said something very important, and I'm stealing this from her. She said now, you know, when she gets back into dating or whatever, however her situation ends up, she said one of the first things she's gonna ask people is, do you love yourself? Now, that may be off-putting for a lot of people because that's a deep question. It's a real ass question, but it's a deep question, and it's a question you're gonna want to know the answer to. Because I'm a firm believer in, if you don't love yourself, the person you are with all the time, no matter what, how can you love somebody else? Yeah, I left a dramatic pause there on purpose. I'm going to say it again. If you don't love yourself, or if you don't know if you love yourself, how can you love somebody else? So, well, Rob, how do I love myself? How do I know if I love myself? Somebody asked. I think it's different for everybody. One of the things that I had to learn to do was, one, limit other people's opinions about me. So, people on the outside see certain parts of you. Very few people get to know the inner workings of who you are as a person unless you share that with them. And those are typically the people I go to the most for advice or questions or things like that, because I've revealed so much to them that they can give me a true look from an outside point of view, because I've given them so much information to work with. Whereas some of us, we have casual friends or just friends or a best friend, and we mix all those opinions together when all of them really don't know you on the same level. Some people only know me as a gamer. Some people only know me as a podcaster. Some people only know me as an educator. Some people only know me as a realtor. Some people only know me as a cousin, a son, whatever. Some people only know me in a certain role, but all of those things that I just named make up one person. All those things have an impact on who I am. So I have to know and recognize that. So self-discovery is a big part of that as well. But limit those opinions, because people will have you thinking something that's just not true and is based off a limited amount of information. So be careful with that. Learn to accept the things about yourself that you love. Don't let a bad relationship or a bad friendship or a job review or anything like that make you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I'm so wrong. No, typically it's limited information. Now, relationship wise, if you're just an asshole, you cheating on people, you beating people, you know, the typical bad stuff, then okay, yeah, you know you need to change that. But maybe you're not too argumentative. Maybe you're not too passive. Maybe you're not too nice. Maybe it's that the other person didn't know how to deal with it or didn't know how to handle it. Or they couldn't live up to the felt expectation or pressure of, dang, this person is so nice, they're so supportive, I just don't know what to do. And they mess it up. Happens all the freaking time. And what people will do, they'll project it onto you, and you'll say to yourself, well, dang, I shouldn't have been so nice and this wouldn't happen. Not necessarily true. That was one of my things. And I've learned over the years, like, this is who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. I've learned certain defense mechanisms, such as paying closer attention to people's actions, holding real conversations, limiting how much I do for a person, you know, looking for more reciprocation. Because I'm a person who, I like to let my actions speak. You know, I feel like anybody can tell you anything to make you feel good. Okay, what are you going to do about it, though? So that's one. Limit those opinions and really reflect on yourself and love yourself as far as who you are as a person. Those little quirks, those things that make up who you are. And don't be afraid to share that. I'm a straight up person. You know, when I get back into dating for real, yo, within like a month or two, maybe 3, you'll know everything you need to know. If we talking like we should be, you know everything you need to know. I'm straight up like, this is who I am. This is what it is. Yes, I'm open to conversation. Yes, I'm open to compromise. But these are the core things that make me up. Here's what I want to do. You know, here's my goals. Here's my aspirations. Here's what I'm doing to work on it. You'll see it. There'll be very, very few surprises. Very few. But that's because I'm in tune with myself. I made up my mind about myself. Do I have room to grow? Yes. Will I embrace change and growth if the opportunity comes or if I feel the need to? Yes. But overall, I'm pretty set. I'm pretty set in I'm pretty set in who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I challenge you to do the same thing. Self-love is very important. The next thing about loving yourself is treat yourself, man. And I know I've said this before. Shout out to my boy Russell. He was the first person to teach me that, you know, we go out here, we working 9 to 5 and we get paid, but we don't ever pay ourselves. First thing we do is pay bills, put money in away savings, blah, blah, blah. When's the last time you just went to the store and bought yourself something? You the one putting in all the work and putting in all the hours. When's the last time you really did something for yourself? You know, I do Amazon shopping every now and again. I cop a video game every now and again. I'm saving up for a motorcycle. I'm saving up for a house. I'm saving up for another gun. Couple things that I'm doing. Things that I want to do. Things that no one has anything to do with. Things that I have the freedom to do. Enjoy your freedom. Not to say that a relationship, you know, puts you on lockdown, but enjoy your freedom. I know that, you know, when I get in a relationship, I compromise, I make changes for the betterment of the relationship. So certain things that I may want to do, I might hit the brakes on and say, nah, I don't think that's healthy for the relationship. You know, that's something I'd rather do on my own. So I just put it to the side. Not saying that's the right thing to do, but it is what it is. So the conversation continued and we reminisced on quite a few things. And shout out to you, Fave. I hope that everything works out for you. I hope that, you know, that conversation helped and you continue to work on self. And I hope that all of you out there continue to work on self. These are trying times. There's a lot going on personally with everybody. There's a lot going on in the world. I'm going to continue to encourage you to take social media breaks. I'm going to continue to help you promote your health and fitness. Like now I walk 4 miles a day, 5 days a week at least. And I have Black Thunder, my tire that I like to flip. I flipped it up and down the parking lot today. So my legs will probably be dead later. I have to take an Epsom salt bath. But take advantage of 2020. Rob, what do you mean take advantage of 2020? 2020 hit the brakes on the entire world. Everything literally slowed down. It's like, I mean, except for the bad things that have happened, it was like the break we all needed. It was. So much attention has been on the things that it needs to be on, and the things that are, excuse me, the things that are truly important have now been highlighted to the 100th degree. Because once COVID hit and we started seeing some of these deaths and losses, we truly began to see what was truly important. The superficial shit did not matter any longer. So I know for me personally, it was a huge break that I needed. Mentally, I was stressed, had a lot on my mind, going through a lot, and that just paused, like literally life paused. It gave me a chance to stop, do some self-inventory, friendship inventory, business inventory, out with the old, in with the new. All right, let's progress moving forward. Let's create some new healthy habits. And you still have time. You still have time. And I say do it now. Unfortunately, there are predictions of a second wave of COVID-19. We don't know what that looks like. I already know my job is going to be highly affected by this. Highly. And I'm going to have to do a lot of adapting. But I'm good with that. So prepare yourself. Don't get caught off guard again. If anything, this should have taught everyone a financial lesson. I know it taught me one. I was straight, but it definitely taught me a financial lesson. It definitely had me take a second look at what I was doing with my money and where it needs to go. And yeah. So you got to take advantage of opportunities like that, because at the end of the day, when you don't take advantage of opportunities to do better, to reflect, to do that self-inventory, all you can do is look in the mirror and blame yourself when things don't turn out your way. That's all you can really do. At the end of the day, you got to be real with yourself. You have to. When you get in that bed and under those covers and lay that head on your pillow, those thoughts are going to start. You can't go 24/7 drowning in your escapes. You can't. So I would just say this much. Make sure you love yourself. Sorry. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure before you move on and put yourself in a new situation that you are mentally prepared to take on what that entails. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. And do not be afraid to listen to what someone else truly has to say. Do not be afraid to take a look at what someone else has to offer you. Do not be afraid of making an unpopular decision, because at the end of the day, you get one life and that life is yours, and the choices that are made within that life are yours as well. So, I'm out of here. Once again, I would like to thank every single person that supports the podcast. We will have a spectacular interview coming for you next week with Megan Rivers. Near and dear friend. Very impactful, very powerful interview. You will definitely get some great words of wisdom and encouragement from that interview. Make the time to listen to that interview next week. I promise you, you won't regret it. And once again, sorry, I cut my own self off. Thank all of our listeners. Thank all of our subscribers. Everyone in the Facebook group. Everyone following Instagram. Y'all already know Facebook, From My Experience Podcast. Join the group. We have great discussions going on in there. Instagram, FME_podcast, where you can see the artwork for the episodes that are released. You can also get clips from various episodes. And I'm going to start doing more on the Instagram page. Start doing some daily stuff or weekly stuff for y'all to chime in, because I love interacting with you all. And you already know, FME podcast1@gmail.com or From My Experience podcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions, pardon my voice and my coughing and my sipping. Again, I walked 4 miles a day and flipped probably an 80-pound tire up and down the parking lot. So my chest is dead right now. But I love you all. Take care of yourself physically. Take care of yourself mentally. Take care of yourself financially. Learn to love yourself. It is okay to be selfish and take care of yourself, especially if you're single. If you're in a relationship, have a conversation. Don't just turn around and be selfish. People need to know what's going on. But anyway, we will catch y'all next week. Peace.